We continue with part 3 of the 4-part video on writing an effective literature review. Part 3 of writing an effective literature review deals with the processing of all research articles we have selected. Before we begin processing the articles we have accumulated, it is necessary to validate the quality of all those articles first. Processing of the literature involves a 6-step process. Validating the quality of the literature typically involves 3 steps: assessing the relevance of the literature, assessing the quality of the literature, and extracting the data. Once our search for the literature reaches its saturation point, we are ready to assess their relevance by screening them for inclusion and exclusion. It would be useful to apply some preset rules as basis for including or excluding certain studies. To assess the quality of selected literature, we evaluate the rigor of the research design and methods. We do this to determine whether or not the differences in quality may affect the conclusions or guide how they analyze the data and interpret the findings. The process of gathering or extracting applicable data for each literature is to decide what is relevant to the problem of interest. Important information to be considered about how, when, where and by whom the selected study was conducted, the research design and methods, and the findings. A necessary condition for processing the literature is by being aware that merely locating relevant and quality articles is not sufficient. Data found in the selected literature must be processed into knowledge, and this knowledge becomes a foundation for building a new research. To transform raw data into effective literature review, we need to develop cognitive skills by following a set of sequential activities. The skills development process to transform raw data from multiple literature sources into effective literature review can be tracked through a series of steps. We start this process by creating knowledge from reading the articles and extracting meaningful information from it. In the second step, we demonstrate our comprehension of the literature by showing that we know the meaning and significance of the information being reported. We show our ability to apply what we read by activities identifying the major concepts relevant to the study and placing the citation in the correct category. Next, we analyze the literature by identifying why the information being presented is important. The essence of synthesis is to assemble the literature being reviewed for a given concept into a whole. And finally, we evaluate the literature by clearly distinguishing among opinions, theories, and empirically established facts. As you can see, each step must be followed sequentially, as the earlier step becomes the foundation for the following step. The first step in creating knowledge is by reading the articles and processing the data into information. Activities involved at the knowledge level include listing, defining, describing, and identifying. From these activities, we are expected to demonstrate our ability to read the articles and extract meaningful information from them. Avoid repeating what was already included in the article, but show that you know the meaning and significance of the information you are reporting. It is not enough to make a general statement by pointing at the literature and grouping multiple citations together. The review must be presented in a manner that demonstrates knowledge and mastery of the materials by showing connected facts about the literature. We demonstrate comprehension using activities such as summarizing, differentiating, interpreting, and contrasting. At this level of mastery, we have to demonstrate that not only can we repeat what was included in the article, but also know the meaning and the significance of the information being reported. Comprehension shows your ability to understand the concepts. Application is demonstrated by activities such as demonstrating, illustrating, solving, relating, and classifying. In the context of the literature review, application is directly revealed by the two-step process of identifying the major concepts relevant to the study and placing the citation in the correct category. Demonstration of mastery at the application level follows the concept-centric approach presented earlier. We demonstrate analysis by activities such as separating, connecting, comparing, selecting, and explaining. In essence, analysis involves identifying why the information being presented is of importance. We show mastery of our ability to analyze by knowing the meaning and significance of the information. Ability to analyze also shows our understanding of the concepts. Synthesizing the literature involves activities such as combining, integrating, modifying, rearranging, designing, composing, and generalizing. The essence of synthesis is to assemble the literature being reviewed for a given concept into a whole that exceeds the sum of its parts. In a well-synthesized discussion, findings from several sources are very effectively woven together. Evaluation connotes activities such as assessing, deciding, recommending, selecting, judging, explaining, discriminating, supporting, and concluding. The essential evaluation in the literature review is to clearly distinguish among opinions, theories, and empirically established facts. A literature that has been evaluated well helps to ensure that the evidence we use to support our arguments is appropriate and reliable. The final part of writing an effective literature review is the literature output, which is presented in Part 4 video. Thank you for watching. If you find this video useful, please subscribe, comment, and like so that more of similar videos can be created.